Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while. I've been real busy driving this truck, but I've been out here on the road for a bit over 5 months, and I'm getting ready to head home for turkey season. I'm going to be hunting Massachusetts this year. My plan is to get in on April 23rd. Opening day is Monday the 26th. So I'll have 2 days to scout. Next time you see me will be probably the morning of the 24th out scouting. I have no idea this area. I've never turkey hunted it. It's public land. I know there's birds there. I just don't know anything about where they like to be in the springtime. So I'm hoping 2 days of scouting will give me a little bit of intel. I got a week to go, so I got to drive this truck across the country. All right, I'll see you soon. Well, it's Saturday morning, April 24th. I just got home after 5 months on the road. Got up early here. Gonna go to a new spot. I got the owl hooter. I didn't bring any turkey calls. I want to avoid the temptation to do any calling before the season, but I might do some owl hooting, see if I can get one to gobble. I'm coming from this side just so I can hear across the valley. There's some ridges on the other side that I'd like to hunt. And it's an easy access, so I'm going to get out and go check it out. It's just starting to get light. Let's see if we can hear a gobble. I have no idea if I will or not, but we'll see. All right, I heard one gobbling way down that way, but now I hear one gobbling straight across the river, and that's right on the ridge. I think I'm gonna... I forgot my phone, so I was gonna use Onyx to pin the turkey. I'm just debating whether I should go down by the river. I think the sound might screw me up. I think I'm going to walk straight into the woods here just to get a better beat on exactly where he is. Sounds like there's two of them up there. Okay, I'm down here by the river now. Okay, he's up there. This is good because I don't think anybody turkey hunts back here. When I come in to hunt them, I'm going to come in on the other side. I want to get an exact... Now, he's probably not going to be in the exact spot, but the more information I can gather right now, like I said, I've never hunted these woods for turkeys, so I want to figure out exactly where he is. So at least I'll know that's one place he roosts. Yeah, he's straight up there. Before I got into truck driving, I was always scouting long before the season opened, and I realized that was a huge part of my success with turkeys. So at least I have 2 days to scout. This is the end of the first morning, and I located a bird. He's across the river, right where I thought he would be. Telling you, if you're just getting started turkey hunting, the #1 key to success is scout, scout, scout. Locate birds before the season. Learn as much as you can about where they like to roost, what they like to do. I don't have much time to pattern of bird. These are woods birds. I mean, who knows where he's going to roost tomorrow, but at least I got one site located, and that'll give me a starting point. I left my coffee up here on the trail. I gotta go up and get it. See, now, last year when I was deer hunting, I would come down here and put my waders on and cross the river right there. I think it's a little bit too high to do that because they're only hip waders. I don't think I get away with that right now. One thing I've never been confident in is locator calls. I mean, a crow call is fine, but I use that during the day and that's easy. But the owl hoot, I've never practiced it, and I was always intimidated to use it. I've used it a couple of times, and it's worked, but I always felt like a dummy. So this year I got this Woodhaven owl hooter, and I'm starting to gain some confidence with it. I still sound like crap, but at least I have enough confidence. Just getting that bird to gobble this morning that I'll use it. I can't roll my tongue very well to make it really sound authentic, but I'll keep practicing. Oh, there's my coffee. Well, that was a successful morning of scouting. I know you can't see me. It's April 26th, opening morning of Massachusetts spring turkey season. Saturday morning, I was scouting from across the river and I heard one gobbling up here on this ridge. I didn't bring a blind. I just have this camera and I have the GoPro. I'm gonna try to film it with no blind if there's a bird in here. Well, I haven't heard anything gobble yet. I think I'm gonna start easing my way up and get up on top of the ridge. It's super windy. There's another ridge behind this one, but I wouldn't be able to hear it from here. So I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna head up the ridge. The turkeys have been scratching. When we get up top, we set up the decoys. Look, there's an old ladder rope stand. Boy, this is steep. We'll get set up. All right, I want to set up this next segment. I hadn't heard any gobbles all morning, and I had set up in like 3 or 4 different spots. I'd covered quite a bit of ground, and it was coming to about an hour and 20 minutes left of hunting time. So I decided to head out towards the back ridge. In the morning I started on the front ridge closer to the river, and I kind of made a big loop. So I was coming back and I said, well, I'm gonna go sit on that back ridge for the last hour and a half. I was really getting tired and I just really didn't have any confidence at all, but I didn't want to give up, until noon. So I called a little bit approaching the ridge, and then I sat down against an oak tree, or I think it was an oak tree, and I did some calling once or twice, and then I made a phone call. I was dealing with something with work, and I got off the phone. I looked at the time. It was 10:58. So at that point, it was an hour and 2 minutes left. And as soon as I hung up the phone, I went to yapping, and I did a really loud yelp and then into an excited cut. Well, I don't know if I caught this bird with his pants down or he caught me with my pants down. But when I called, he gobbled and he froze, and he stayed in that one spot for more than 35 minutes. He never moved for 35 minutes. I could just see his head in the front of his chest, and occasionally he would shake his snood, and that was it. I couldn't move. I was leaning against an oak tree in the full sun. I had no cover. My gun was laying across my left leg. I wasn't going to take that shot anyways, but I couldn't pick up my gun. I was worried about the time, and my phone was in my left zipper pocket in my vest. And I was able to kind of block. He couldn't see my left side because I had the tripod kind of in front of me. So I slowly opened the zipper and pulled my phone just out enough so I could see the time, and it was 11:14. And then the second time I checked it, it was 11:28. And this started at just 2 minutes to 11 is when the whole thing started. It felt like an eternity. So as the clock is ticking, time is going by, I'm looking at my camera battery, and I'm not in good shape. I had been kind of filming all the different setups throughout the day, and I was down to less than 20 minutes while I'm filming him. And I had a fresh battery, but it was in my right pocket, and there was no way I could get to it without him seeing me. My left side, I was kind of on an angle. He couldn't see movement on my left, so I could check my phone, but I could not get my camera battery. So I had to shut the camera off. And I waited until he moved to turn it back on. Let me remind you that my shotgun is still laying across my left leg. There's nothing I can do here. He's about 35, maybe 40, but I think I overestimated the distance. He was closer than I thought because it was down the bank. I think he was about 35 yards right here, and there's absolutely nothing I can do. All I could do was wait for him to step behind a tree. I got him. $11.39. Oh my goodness. I gotta change the battery. My battery has 3 minutes left. I have another battery in my pocket. Somewhere. Right here. Oh, I cannot believe it. I gotta change the battery. I'll get right back with you. My heart just skipped a beat. Just had a bird fly away. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He flew away. Because I didn't run down as soon as I shot him. I didn't run down. And I was like, what a heart-sinking feeling. But he's right down here. Let me tell you the story. It's been a tough morning. Didn't really hear many gobbles. And I was, you know, just the last ditch effort. I decided to come back. I walked like 3 miles so far this morning. Let me get out in the sun. So I came over here. I sat right. See that tree right there? I was sitting right at that tree, and I had been doing some calling. And I got a message from my company. They needed the inspection report that I had done in Idaho on the truck, and I had a picture of it on my phone, so I emailed it to them. And I finished the phone call. I called him, actually. I got a message and then I emailed it and I called him. Well, I just hung up and I said, okay, I'm gonna call again. So I called really loud and instantly, gobble. And that turkey was walking right along this deer trail. And I looked down and I didn't have my mask on. I didn't have my gloves on, so I pulled my mask down. I looked down and I could see his head. He was standing right down here. And I got the camera on him. Well, he stood there. I was starting to get worried about the time. I couldn't move because he's got a clear sight. I'm sitting right there in the wide open. It was a bad spot. I wasn't really expecting anything, you know, and I didn't really set up. I wanted to be able to see down the bank, and I probably would have been better off if I was up the bank, so he would have had to come up to find me. And I was worried about the time, and I couldn't move. But luckily I had this camera in front of me, so it kind of blocked it. So I snuck in my hand down in my pocket, pulled my phone out and checked, and by that time it was 11:14. And I kept checking it, but he stood here in one spot for a solid 30 minutes and never moved. And then you see in the video when he finally took a step how cautious he was being. I couldn't do anything. It just, you know, going back to 15, 20 years, whatever, however, when I started turkey hunting, one of the things I knew, I was told, I think my Uncle Gary told me, he said, be patient. Patience is a big part of the game. Let's go down and check him out. So he rolled down the bank. What a standoff. My back was killing me. And then when I saw that bird fly off, I said, you have got to be kidding me. Well, he's a 2-year-old. I was hoping, and he didn't got much of a beard. He's, I don't know, 7 inches maybe. But he's a long beard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's not a heavy bird. He's probably 17 pounds. I can't see the screen. I don't even know if I'm on the camera. But, wow. Opening day. And the morning started tough. I didn't hear any gunshots. I went to the first spot where I had a bird roosted this morning, and somebody beat me to the spot. And so I turned, I mean, he wasn't exactly where I wanted to go in, where I knew the bird was, but he was before it. And I said, well, and he wasn't in his truck. So I turned around and went to plan B. Wow. Unbelievable. He only gobbled once. I couldn't call to him after that. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. What a hunt. This is where that turkey was standing, I believe, when I first saw him. This tree was blocking his body, and his head was just sticking out there. I was at the base of that tree. And he finally walked up here. He came up behind this tree right here, because when he was behind this tree, I got my gun up, and then he came right here, and there's blood right here. I believe he was standing right here when I shot him. So I was sitting right there. That's only, maybe 25 yards, 30 yards. He was with another bird. I don't know what the other bird was. I was probably another longbeard or a jake, but that freaked me out when that other bird flew off, because I thought it was the bird I had shot, but it wasn't. All right, I looked at the footage. Obviously, you've seen it by now. I don't think I got the shot. I think I could see him. Obviously, I could see him. I shot him, but the camera was to my right, and whatever, it is what it is. I mean, it's close enough for me being out here with no blind, and this is the way the situation worked out with him having, I mean, with that standoff, my back was killing me, my butt was hurting, and I just kept telling myself, he's got to break from that frozen moment that lasted over 30 minutes, and he finally broke. It's amazing how slow he was stepping when he finally moved, how cautious they are. Wow, this is going to be one of the most memorable hunts, just the way it worked out. I mean, it's not the way I usually get them. I usually get them first thing in the morning, right off the roost. I was not in a good position. I mean, I was in a good position to look down this bank, but I mean, he caught me with my pants down. I mean, I called and he gobbled, but I didn't see him, but he was obviously there walking. It's not like I called him in, but when I called, he just froze. And then it was a standoff for... Yeah, that's it. Opening day 2021, Massachusetts. I still have one more tag, so I'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, everyone.